Um,
Hello, good evening, everyone. Please type in the chat if you can hear me clearly. Okay, I just want to let you know that we're just working through a few things on the backstage. So please give us an extra 10 minutes or so, and then we'll get right started. Okay, thank you. Okay, good evening again, everyone. We apologize for the late start. Just had a few technical challenges that we needed to work through here on the back end. But it's good to have you all on board. I'm sure others will pop in a little later. My name is Robin Bell, founder and CEO of SMARTR Joint Venture Capital Corporation, a US company which is behind this SMARTR Barbados initiative. We have three guests with us this evening. Mr. Michael Grimes, who is CEO of MDG Corporate Services, which is a Barbadian accounting and audit firm here. And we also have John Mark Hazard.
yes, sir.
Who is a co-founder of Beyond Growth Digital, a digital marketing agency, as well as Arturo Menal, the other co-founder of Beyond Growth Digital.
Hey, good night, good night.
So thank you everyone for coming.
Hi. Yeah, thank you, man. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. I just want to ask the attendees to just put a message into the public chat there, just if you can hear us clearly. We don't want to be speaking and you're having challenges on your end. Are you hearing us? Could you please put in the chat yes or no? To find the chat, just click on the event button on the top right, and then the actual chat box will be on the bottom right, and you can just type in there. Thank you, Dr. Pascal, for your confirmation there. I'm not seeing anyone else, so maybe. Okay, sound is good for me as well. All right, thanks, Sherry-Ann, appreciate that. So I'm going to assume that everyone can hear, and we're going to get started here. So the purpose of this event this evening is to introduce Barbadians to SMARTR Barbados, which is an initiative focused on digital transformation of Barbados, but also in this critical time that the country is facing, we also want to leverage it specifically to facilitate economic resilience for Barbadians, citizens, as well as businesses, small, medium businesses, and so on. So what we're going to speak about tonight is how we can leverage the digital domain to achieve that objective. But before we jump into that, we wanted to share with you the experience of two young millennial entrepreneurs in Barbados who found themselves impacted by this pandemic. back in March last year. And, you know, they run a digital marketing agency called Beyond Growth Digital. They do social media marketing, social media management for businesses. And they were impacted by the pandemic, but they didn't just throw up their hands in despair and give up. They went to work and turned things around, made some changes, made some adjustments, and were able to come back, and make a success of what it is they're doing, despite the fact that they're still in the middle of a pandemic situation. So we invited them here this evening, just give you a little background about how they were able to work in the digital domain and still be successful, despite the fact that we're in the midst of a pandemic situation. So John, Mark, and Arturo, I will hand it over to you.
Okay, yeah, great. Yeah, thank you so much for the amazing introduction, Robin. As Robin mentioned earlier, my name is John Mark. I'm the co-founder of Beyond Growth, and Arturo Manal is my business partner. So we've had a lot of highs and a lot of lows when we decided to build this digital marketing agency. We actually started it, we came up with the idea back in 2018. We were actually sitting down in our class at UE, and we were like, yo, there is so much competition in the job market. Why don't we find a way that we can actually stand out against the competition? And we were both studying marketing. So we were like, yo, let's go out there and build a digital marketing agency. And that's exactly what we did. So we launched it in January of 2019, and we started, going out there looking for clients. So we did cold calls, we sent out cold emails, we literally went through the directory and started looking for businesses that we can call up and tell about our service, right? So we did that for about 6 to 7 months, and we had no success there, right? And yeah, so we basically for the whole of 2019 we did that. So then coming on to 2020, we started to get a bit more traction on the local space. So we weren't servicing e-commerce clients as yet, because right now we have the majority of our client base right now is international e-commerce clients, where we have clients all the way from the US, all the way to UK, some from Haiti, etc. But before COVID hit, we were just in the local space. So we had a couple clients here locally. But when COVID actually came around, in 2020, it actually knocked us straight back. We lost all of our clients. We were probably just doing around 2,000 to 3,000 a month, but then we lost all of it because of COVID. So I'm just going to let my business partner, Arturo Manal, basically talk about how we actually overcame COVID, the steps we took, and then, how it actually all turned around, especially in the last 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, John Mark. Again, good night to everyone. Yes, if you could hear us, just make sure that you could type in the chat, just indicate to us, of course, that you can hear us. Otherwise, thank you so much for a good introduction. And of course, Robin, thank you so much for the opportunity. As John Mark would have said so far, when it came to e-commerce and digital marketing and all that stuff, I feel like it was already here. The first wave of digital marketing was definitely already here. But at the same time, the second wave is definitely more present than it's ever been. This is the best time to actually go forward with anything online. And, we weren't lucky or anything like that. I think that's why Robin would have brought us here. We actually went through, as John would have said, a lot more lows and highs. But when the highs do come, for those who are out there and still looking for a job or still looking for their next opportunity, when the highs do come, they're definitely going to be, they're going to make up for those losses and those failures, trust me. So really and truly, we really were on the local scene for a good while until we had no choice but to adapt and go on the e-commerce scene. And as John would have said, we were kind of around 3 to 4K around that time, which for us at our age at 19, 18 was actually pretty good for sure. We were quite grateful with that. And I think it taught us not to be comfortable, right? That's the first thing, just not to be comfortable, and two, to just adapt as quickly as possible, because when you get comfortable, that's why we didn't look into e-commerce. That's why we didn't look into all these online businesses and the opportunity at hand until we were forced to do it. So what happened when we fast forward a few months down the line of just learning strictly e-commerce for literally probably 6 to 8 months, what happened was that we started to see the potential in e-commerce because it doesn't have a lid on its income. It's 24/7. Persons can buy whenever they feel like, and so forth and so forth and so forth. Whereas for local business, to meet the demand sometimes could be quite difficult, right? So we learned the potential, and what we did, even though we didn't have the experience per se as yet to actually run the ads or whatever ourselves, what we did is that we decided that we would teach what we were learning. So that's another thing that I think persons can take away, is that I think we find that when we have some sort of knowledge, at the same time, it's not enough, because someone else knows more. But at the same time, someone else knows less. So what you have already is most of the time enough, right? And that's what we did. We literally taught persons for free at first, if I'm being honest. And eventually we started to charge them 150 to 300 US, eventually, for a month of consultations, that is, and just teaching them what we knew. Now, what happened was that we realized that they saw so much value behind what we were doing, is that it was worth more than the 300. So eventually we moved up to, I think, 500, 600, and 700 USD. And right now we charge a minimum of $1,000 US, right? And we actually have more clients now that we're charging more than when we were charging less. So I think what happened is that we started to see the value ourselves. And when we started to see the value in ourselves, other persons saw it as well. So we were saying, okay, cool. Well, if you aren't going to see the value in us, and you don't think it's worth $1,000, that's fine, because someone else is going to see it. And someone else is going to pay us 1,500 or 3,000. And I think that was something that really turned around the game for us, was the mentality that we didn't need everyone, because if you are marketing to everyone, or your business, your service, your product is for everyone, well, then really and truly it's for no one. So that's what we came up with at the end of the day. It really was a turning point for us, because again, we saw the value in it. We moved from those couple clients at the 150 to 300 US a month, and we literally were back on track to the 4K at that stage. And when we turned it around, when we were able to run the ads ourselves, charging a minimum of 1K, I can tell you for sure, the last 3 months alone, we've made more than the entire business's revenue since its existence, right? Just 3 months alone. And we would have gone on that obviously by helping persons, because it's a service-based company. And over those last 3 months, we have been able to bring in 100K USD in revenue so far, just 3 months for clients. So we're saying all that to say that it's possible, one. And two, it's definitely going to take some consistency, some faith, some belief, and definitely execution. Not just the knowledge, but execution. And there's so much to learn from here. And I know Jorma is itching to talk about the problem solving aspect of it, because every single day we're faced with problems, and every single day we're faced with decisions. But the thing about it is that both of them go hand in hand. And I'm so glad that Jorma would be able to actually take over from here.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, Arturo. And he definitely alluded to it perfectly. I think one of the major aspects that has allowed us to grow our marketing agency so fast was the ability to solve problems as quickly as possible, right? So as soon as a problem came up in the business, whether that was generating meetings to get clients, or whether that was providing results for these clients, we were able to solve these problems extremely quickly. And I think that's what basically led to us exploding, basically just solving problems. And on that point, I think when starting a business that is solely online, where you're working remotely from home, I think that you should aim to solve a problem that is super big, because the bigger the problem that you solve, the more essentially, not only will you make more money, but you will add more value to the marketplace. And it will all come back to you, because the more value you add, the more money you're going to make, and the better you're going to feel, because at the end of the day, it's all about helping people. It's all about people over profits, for sure. So whenever someone asks us what kind of business should they start, we always say, yeah, just go out and solve a huge problem. If you look at the richest people alive right now, they just found a problem that was huge and they solved it. Not for a financial aspect, but because they actually wanted to help people. So I would definitely say always think about people over profits first. And another turning point for us, for sure, would definitely be taking risks, for sure. When I told my mom that, yeah, I was never going to apply for a job again, she was like, what, why are you going to do that? That's pretty crazy. But then, I just decided to go all in, and I took that risk. And because I took that risk, it also forced me to focus, right? And I think focus was also a big learning point from the whole journey, because once we were able to actually go in and focus, because in 2020, after COVID hit, we decided for 90 days we're going to go strictly and just focus directly on the business. So once we apply that focus, I think that was another major turning point. But yeah, so I would say those are the two biggest lessons. So learning how to solve problems as quickly as possible and taking risks for sure, and regardless of what the outcome may be, and definitely being able to focus for an extended period of time. Yeah, so that being said, my name is John Mark, and that was my business partner, Arturo Manal. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know. But yeah, Beyond Growth.
Yeah, Manal, I just want to ask a question here. Sorry, Arturo. Are you guys simply leveraging existing software platforms and technologies, or have you all done any original coding at all for your business?
Yeah, at the moment we're actually using existing. So for us, it would be mainly Facebook, Instagram. Right now we're getting into TikTok, Snapchat, and those platforms are already out there because we mainly do ads. And even for like email softwares and stuff like that, they're already there. I don't think we've hit the stage where we are at product development as yet, where we've had, let's say we've had hundreds of clients pass through us in a particular space that we could say, okay, this is a really big problem we've found, and we have a big enough sample size to say, okay, cool. Well, with 200 persons, 200 digital marketers, 200 e-commerce businesses doing between 10 and 50K, they have the same problem. Is something that we need to get a developer on. So I don't think we've gone to that stage as yet with product development. Our number one thing is always providing impeccable customer service, one, and two, superior results. So I think we focus on that right now, but we haven't gone into that stage.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Not because you're not big enough to need custom development, but I wanted the audience to hear that you're just leveraging existing platforms and software programs that are already available, and that it's not a question of you having to build something in order to be able to build a business online and generate revenue online. So it's important for them to understand that, and to feel confident that they can leverage the solutions and the technologies that we make available to them, to build their own business and revenue on the internet. Yeah. So thanks very much, gentlemen. Appreciate your comments this evening. That's exactly what we were looking for.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, thanks for having us, man.
You're welcome. At this time, I'd just like now to ask Mr. Michael Grimes, founder and CEO of MDG Corporate Services, to just give you a little note regarding the, I guess I should say, I don't know if I should say implications, but he would probably correct me. But essentially, the financial aspect of what we're going to be asking you to do or helping you to do, and how that affects the tax situation in Barbados and your responsibilities as a citizen of Barbados. So, Michael.
Thanks, Robin, for the introduction. Just let me say at the outset, it's always exciting when I see young people grasping opportunities and running with it. It really is a pleasure to work with young people, young, forward-thinking young people, very progressive young people. So hats off to the young ones here tonight.
Thank you.
I am a chartered accountant and a chartered corporate secretary by profession. I previously was at Coopers & Lybrand / PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, for approximately 11 years. And then I was a senior manager at KPMG before I started my business, MDG Corporate Services, and I've been in existence for close to 20 years. What I heard about this platform, I really was a bit impressed with, because for a long time working in the offshore industry in Barbados, for some of you who might be familiar with IBCs, what we call international business companies. For those of you who don't know about international business companies, they'll soon be gone completely, because it's just to June 30th this year, that the last grandfathered ones will be in existence, and after that is all local companies. So from being involved in the offshore sector for so many years, one of the things that the Barbados government attempted to do was to obviously bring foreign exchange into Barbados. So hence the offshore sector was a very, very vital part of that. One of the challenges that we faced was that the premise for offshore business had to be legitimate business. In other words, it just couldn't be a sham company where you hide transactions through it. And we saw how much problems that caused for Barbados in the past. All that being said, the challenges for Barbados, the main challenge for Barbados was how then do you, in a small island, which is 166 square miles, bring substantive business to Barbados? And for a long time, as most of you may be aware, Barbados really had to exist on the skills and the talents of its people because we didn't really have any natural resources, unlike Jamaica and Guyana and Trinidad. So the challenge was then, how do you make money with legitimate business from having such a small footprint? And I'm talking about land space here. So we had Intel here some years ago, and they eventually pulled out. We had PRT, that they had a program developing company here in Harbor Road, but in reality, they just had a small part of the business here. And if they had all of the technical capabilities that they needed from Barbados, it would have meant that there would have been nobody left to service the other companies in Barbados. So our size was always a challenge for us. So the answer always had to be technology. So with technology, you don't need big factories and you don't need big offices and hundreds and thousands of employees in one area to do business. And the most obvious thing we see now is the welcome stamp, and it's showing that people are working in Barbados remotely. So the having the online business really is a godsend for Barbados. And to a certain extent, what we are finding is that even though we had a lot of fallout from COVID, there's still a lot of blessings in that, we are now forced to rely more on the technology and to go more digital. And that really is a plus. So you can have large legitimate businesses now operating in Barbados without having to have the big buildings and the many employees actually situated in Barbados. And we still needed to earn the foreign exchange. So because it's online, you can now charge foreign clients from sitting right here in Barbados and it be seamless. So that is really the ultimate or the utopian type situation for Barbados. We want a situation where we are online and we are earning foreign exchange. So the platform and what Robin is suggesting gives the opportunity to do that. And again, we're talking legitimate business. If a venture like this had started, say, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, even from a tax perspective, we would have been having a slightly different conversation in that the tax rate back then was 25%. And for the companies doing offshore business, the rate was 2.5%. So obviously, there was a significant benefit to having the international business companies based on all the international regulations and complaints and concerns from companies that felt that some of the smaller countries were tax havens and taking away some of their tax income. They decided then that you have all these rules in place. So therefore, Barbados being forced to comply with that, we no longer have offshore companies. But the upside of that is that the tax rate is now being reduced to 5.5%. Barbados is still obviously very keen on giving incentive to companies that earn foreign exchange. And if you generate employment, that's even a bigger plus. So there are benefits for companies that employ persons, and for companies that earn foreign exchange. Unfortunately, in this environment, there had to be limits. So we're talking about, it being worthwhile. You can apply for a foreign currency permit, but that wouldn't make sense unless you're earning well over $1 million a year. But there's still the incentive there for companies that generate foreign exchange. So I am really happy to see that you're here looking to see what opportunities that there exist in terms of the digital platform, because again, it is significant benefit. It is of significant benefit to Barbados in the offshore sector, earning the foreign exchange and providing employment for the people here. There are tax things that you can do to, again, reduce that 5.5%, but again, it would have to be, income would have to be significant enough to justify the additional costs to make sure that you pay less taxes. But those are things that you can explore once you have started and you build your market and your income. And those are things that we'd be happy to discuss with you. And again, as I said, we always like to work with small businesses. So, feel free to reach out to us with any questions that you may have. And we would be quite excited to work with you.
Okay, thank you very much, Michael. So that sets the tone. Essentially, we just want to make it clear that we're doing everything above board here, and that this operation and this program is not about hiding revenue or income from the Barbados government and so on. There's plenty of income and revenue to be made, so that paying your taxes and so on should not be an issue. And this is not just about setting you up and sending you on your merry way and leaving you high and dry. We are here with you step by step to provide support, help you map out your vision and plan for your online businesses and so on, and get them up and running. And then we have our ancillary services from companies, local companies like Beyond Growth, the two young men who spoke to you earlier, who can also support you when you get to the level where you can justify their services and so on. So with that, I will now move into my primary presentation, which means I need to share my screen. So just give me 1 second. Okay, so this is the event, 2021 Barbados Digital Job Fair, Go Digital. So this experience is a little different from what you would have been accustomed to in terms of a job fair. This is not a case of multiple companies coming together to share different opportunities. This is one company bringing one program with a few different types of quote-unquote jobs that you will be able to participate in. So warm welcome to all of you again. Thank you for coming out. This session is being recorded, and we will make it available for you to go back through in a few days' time. And you'll be able to then reach out to us in the social lounge or in our SMARTR Barbados booth on this platform at any time. You can come and go as you please, log in and log back out and what have you. And we'd be happy to interact with you there and answer any additional questions that you have. So these are challenging times for all. Naturally, with COVID, there's no longer such a thing as business as usual. And to thrive in this environment, we all have to do things differently. And I would say very differently. Okay. If you continue to do what you've always done, you'll continue to get the results that you've always gotten. We don't want that. We want to get better results. So a little bit about me. I'm a Barbadian born in Barbados. My name is Robin Bell, and I'm the founder and CEO of the company again behind this initiative, the SMARTR Barbados initiative. The US company is SMARTR Joint Venture Capital Corporation. And the company works to help tech startups bring their smart city and sustainability tech innovations to the global marketplace. Essentially, startups out there are building solutions and technologies that will make the world a better place and more sustainable and facilitate more efficient smart cities of the future and so on. And I actually saw one of my clients is here on this event this evening. He has a company out of the UK that will be building surveillance drones for agriculture, for defense, for many different industries. And I'm happy to have him here and happy to have him as a client, working to help move his business forward. I actually have another drone company as a client out of the US, and they're building another remarkable set of drone technology. Their drone is a large drone that will be able to transport large 40-foot shipping containers autonomously up to a distance of 700 miles in one go. And they're also building a special type of shipping container that is superior to the shipping containers that we have today. But that's a discussion for another time. My purpose here is to use my knowledge, technology resources, business development skills, my contacts, etc., to help fellow Barbadians reinvent their financial lives, so to speak, and to thrive despite the negative COVID situation that we're all faced with at this time. So what's the problem? So the first step is to clearly understand the problem at hand. So I want to do that by comparing two very different environments and their respective realities. So first, you have the physical reality, the real estate physical domain. That is the ground that you stand on, the physical buildings that you can touch and live in, and so on. And this is the reality that we're faced with right now. Restricted in-person interaction due to lockdowns and curfews. High rent for business and office space that's unused during the lockdown, ranging from $1,000 a month and up. Lost revenue for businesses because of the situation, lost income for individuals because of the situation. But there's another reality that is parallel to this physical reality. And that's what I want to draw your attention to. This is the digital reality, the internet digital domain, right? Where you have 24/7, 365 online interaction with zero lockdowns and curfews. Low rent business office space online that is open 24/7, 365 worldwide, starting from as little as Barbados $250 a month. It provides new revenue for businesses and new income for individuals. But we have to purposefully, go and tap into that digital domain if you want to benefit from what it has to offer. So what's the solution? So what can you do now to ensure that this situation does not negatively impact your business and personal finances indefinitely? Because clearly, if things escalate, then the government here will be forced to implement further lockdowns and what have you. Nobody has a crystal ball, but you don't wait until the horse is out of the stable then to go trying to catch it. So we realize that there's a trend here. Things are escalating to some degree. And even though we are making best efforts to contain the situation, we still have to plan and prepare ourselves to be able to survive and thrive should things, escalate further going forward. So now is the time. So the answer, from our perspective, is to go digital. Okay, but what does that really mean for me, for my family, and for my business? Well, from our perspective, it means that your number one priority is to get yourself a new job. Just a little humor in there to break the ice. You'll get to those meat and potatoes soon enough. But we're not talking about a traditional job here, which a lot of people online have heard refer to it, traditional jobs as being just over broke all the time. We're talking about a very different kind of job here this evening. And that is what we call a judicious online business, JOB. Definition of judicious: having, exercising, or characterized by good or discriminating judgment, wise, sensible, or well advised. So it's not just about jumping online and doing any and everything and what have you, but identifying a solid system, a solid process, understanding what is required, counting the cost before you start, making a strong plan and executing on it based on an assessment of the value that can be derived and what is required to get it up and running. So our intention is to present to you what we consider to be a judicious online business opportunity for you, for all Barbadian individuals and for business owners in Barbados who recognize the need to make some changes and activate some revenue streams for themselves or their business. So to transform your personal or business finances going forward, only a truly judicious online business can cover you financially, like an insurance policy, if it were, against going broke or financial stress on an ongoing basis. So, all right, let's get to those meat and potatoes now. So the benefits of such a business are many, but here are the main ones. Affordable to start, can be automated significantly. Employees aren't really necessary. And the whole world is your market. Now, when it comes to employees not being necessary, what I mean there is that in online business, most people contract independent contractors to handle most of the tasks involved that they either can't do themselves or don't need to do themselves or don't want to do themselves. So that's what we mean by that. Okay, not so fast. Some of you may have some bit of experience dabbling in online business or revenue generation and so on. And you may be aware of a couple of things. While getting into business online is fairly easy for people in America, Europe, and so on, it's not that easy in Barbados because, one, local banks tend to make it practically impossible for small businesses to get an e-commerce merchant account. And if you try to use PayPal, you could end up paying some very high transaction fees in the region of 9 to 10% per transaction, which really, is giving up a huge chunk of your money to PayPal. But we are well aware of these issues, and however, we have solved them for you, judiciously, I might add. So here's how. SMARTR Barbados, an interactive digital community and socio-economic activity zone. Remember that last part, socio-economic activity zone. So SMARTR Barbados is a comprehensive digital business facilitation system of key resources, all designed to allow any individual or business to quickly and easily create and activate a judicious online business for highly sustainable personal income or business revenue. So I want you to think of SMARTR Barbados as being a digital version of the entire island of Barbados, except that here, the digital land doesn't cost an arm and a leg and is in unlimited supply. Here, you don't have to drive up and down hunting for a quality shop space to rent for another arm and a leg for your business. And here, you don't have to wait months for Town and Country Planning to approve your new online business buildings or spend sleepless nights worrying about if you chose the right location and if everything will be built out correctly. So primarily, we are focused on facilitating 5 different types of digital jobs to get you started quickly at whatever level of operation suits you. So we have 1, digital marketing affiliate. 2, digital client service agent. 3, digital administration assistant. 4, digital commerce manager. And 5, digital events organizer. Now, bear in mind that while some of these might sound like your traditional job, all of these are activities that you will be operating as your own business. Okay, these are not salaried positions. Okay, so let's briefly explain each of these quote unquote jobs. So a digital marketing affiliate, what's that? That's someone who promotes a business, products, or service online using pre-developed digital promotional materials, such as image ads, email messages, chat messages, and text messages. These promotional materials are typically placed on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger, and other digital channels. I think I heard John Mark there mentioned TikTok and so on that they're also looking into. So the materials all have a hyperlink associated with them that is unique to the affiliate. Excuse me. So that when anyone clicks on that link and ends up making purchases of the promoted products or service, that sale is credited to the affiliate that posted that link. And he or she is then paid a referral commission for the sale that resulted from them posting that link. So let's say instead of binging on Netflix for 3 hours between 9 and midnight, if you're an affiliate and you invested an hour online posting promotional content as an affiliate on Facebook, Instagram, and so on, that 1 hour of work could potentially result in hundreds of dollars in referral commission for you. Digital client service agent. Now, this is someone who works online to communicate with potential customers and clients of one or more businesses, helping them by answering questions and providing any needed information to help them either make a purchase or avoid canceling a purchase that they've already made. So this is essentially the digital equivalent of a person sitting in a store, in the store's physical office, answering traditional phone call queries. Instead, the digital agent works from home and uses internet communication tools, text, voice, and video to serve the clients and customers. The agent is paid an agreed fixed monthly or weekly fee for providing this service to either a traditional brick and mortar business or to an online business. So the agent would be contracted by the business to provide this service, and together they would agree on a specific fee. Then you have digital administration assistant. Now this is someone who performs secretarial and or other types of business support tasks from home. Now, these tasks are typically accounting tasks, data entry tasks, online research, email newsletter management, and so on. And again, the agent is paid and agreed either a fixed hourly rate or a weekly fee or a monthly fee for providing this service, again, to either brick and mortar businesses or online businesses. But again, this is stuff that you can do from your home. Digital commerce manager. This is someone who manages the various daily tasks associated with running an online e-commerce store. The digital commerce manager is often the owner of the online store, but can also simply be a manager hired by the online store owner. Obviously, if you actually own the online store, it's much better because you'll earn much more. But it's still a legitimate way to earn money online within the context of the rapid growth of e-commerce. Most of you probably are not aware, but e-commerce in the United States jumped by a whopping 30% between March and December last year because of COVID. And everybody's at home on their computer, can't leave, can't go out, and so on. And many of them just jumped on the internet, on Amazon and elsewhere, and started shopping. Some people raid the fridge, some people raid their credit cards, I guess. But the bottom line is that this situation lends itself to people being available and in a mindset, to see what value there is on the internet in terms of online stores and so on, that they can find valuable products and services that they need or want to purchase. Digital events organizer. This is someone who conceives, plans, organizes an online event, whether that is a meetup, a webinar, a conference, or an expo, for the purpose of selling tickets, booths, and sponsorships. as a very lucrative revenue stream. The digital events organizer is often the owner of the business again. But again, you know, they can simply be hired by someone who has an online event business. Maybe they run 3 and 4 different events at the same time. And so they hire event organizers, you know, to help them put it all together and get it out there and get it generating revenues. And again, you know, if you're not the owner, you know, you're paid a fixed hourly rate or monthly fee again for providing the service, handling all of the tasks that are involved in getting an event up and running and generating revenue. Therefore, each of these 5 jobs is about starting your very own digital online business. But in this case, doing so with all needed resources provided. So what exactly are the resources provided? There are many, but we just want to touch on the 2 most important ones tonight, so we don't keep you here all night. Number 1, an interactive digital community center. So this is the platform that you're currently on watching this presentation. And this is structured as an online social business venue that will attract large numbers of people, locals and visitors, for a highly interactive event experience under a membership model. Now, the community, this digital community, will go beyond this platform, this event platform that you're on. This event platform is like the hub, the central place where most people will gravitate to because of the high degree of technological interactivity that you wouldn't find on other platforms like Zoom, for example, or GoToMeeting. Okay, this platform simulates a real-world environment experience for event attendees and speakers and so on. So on this platform, the Interactive Digital Community Center, you know, we have the event stage, which I am on at the moment. You guys are in the audience watching on. In the middle, we have the social lounge, which is a large seating area that you would find at a normal, you know, large conference or what have you, where you can literally go and pull up a chair and sit down and video chat with whoever is just sitting at that table. If the conversation gets boring, you just exit that table and go and find a table with more interesting conversation going on. Okay, so that kind of interactivity is what will attract people to this platform and to this community center. You also have the exhibit arena where our business members will have their booth set up. And inside of each booth also has a set of tables and chairs so that the business owners and their contractors or, you know, personnel helping them would be able to meet with whoever is on the platform at the moment and wants to learn more about that business, ask questions and potentially transact business and what have you. So typically online, when you set up a business, you know, you set up a website on your domain and you set up an e-commerce store or whatever, it's like setting that business up in the middle of a desert. Okay, so nobody knows it's there, and then it's your job to go out there and potentially spend thousands of dollars trying to drive traffic to it. But by building this community center and having frequent events every week from different parties and so on, different topics of interest to different people, we are driving continuous traffic to this event center, and thereby providing lots of eyeballs for the businesses who have business booths on this platform. Okay, because not everybody wants to sit and talk at a table all the time. They want to discover new things, so they can leave the social lounge and move over to the exhibit arena and see what new businesses and booths there are to explore over there. So this resource is a valuable one because the most important thing with an online business is visibility for your business. And here we provide all that you need in that respect. And you will be able to earn money by helping us to grow this community by bringing other individuals and business owners to this community as well. So the second key resource that we provide is a US merchant account for your benefit. So we facilitate the payment processing needs of your future online e-commerce business by leveraging our US merchant account, that being, you know, the US company SMARTR that I mentioned to you. So this is not a case where you have to go now and go to your local bank and beg and get on your knees and fight to try and get a local merchant account. No. Neither do you have to pay high PayPal transaction fees. So we will handle everything for you. We set up the store, we plug in our merchant account, funds come to us, we take out our low transaction fees, and then we pass the funds to your Barbados bank account via wire transfer. Okay, so it's a very clean and simple process, and you don't have to worry about fees, and you don't have to worry about struggling to get a merchant account from the local bank in Barbados. So the bottom line is that you want to start generating new personal income or new business revenue to support a traditional business that has been negatively impacted by the COVID situation, whether that's a restaurant, a hair salon, or any other business that relies on foot traffic and people coming into a physical space. So the fastest way to do that through us, is to immediately register with us to become a new digital marketing affiliate or a digital commerce manager with the SMARTR Barbados interactive digital community. So this is a membership subscription-based community, just as PriceSmart is a membership-based shopping club. The big difference here with our community, however, is that we help you to make more money, whereas PriceSmart takes your money just to allow you to spend your money in their store. Okay, so it's up to you to determine which sounds like greater value. So let's look at what that membership looks like. On the personal level, to set up a new digital marketing affiliate, quote unquote, job, but really online business with us, SMARTR Barbados, you would need to purchase a personal membership with the community. And there are 3 personal membership options: bronze, silver, and gold. Different pricing here from $12.50 US a year to $50 US a year. Now compare that to spending, $1,500 Barbados dollars to $2,500 Barbados dollars for a high visibility shop space on Broad Street, or in one of the malls in Sheraton Center or Coconut Walk or wherever. Okay, very different kind of economics here. And depending on which package you choose, you will be entitled as an affiliate to different levels of commission. So from 12.5% commission to 50% commission. And we know that in these times, you need your cash as quickly as possible. So if you earn commissions, we will pay out twice a month as opposed to once a month. For persons who choose within the next 24 hours to purchase either a bronze or silver membership on the personal level, you will actually upgrade that membership to the next level. So if you purchase bronze, in 24 hours from now, you will be upgraded to silver. And if you purchase silver, we will upgrade you to gold, where you can maximize your commission income when you start to refer other Barbadian individuals and other Barbadian businesses to join this community and get their e-commerce shops online and start generating online revenues. And for those who want to know where you will be able to purchase these subscriptions, it's on our online store at smartrbarbados.com/store. Okay, you can make a note of that. You'll come back to it a little later. And then for those of you who have businesses, perhaps selling physical products and so on, you would probably be looking at the digital commerce manager opportunity. But again, you would need to have a membership subscription with the community on the business level to benefit from the business value that we have. So again, there are 3 business membership options: micro, small, and medium. And these are the rates ranging from, okay, I see some errors here, but that was supposed to be $250 and $500 per year, not $25 and $50. My apologies. But the commission structure is the same as for the personal individuals. 12.5 up to 50% commission if you refer. So what that means is, even though you are a business, your business can still refer individuals and other businesses to this community and be compensated financially for doing so. You may have a Facebook page and you may have X number of people on that page. So if you put your referral links on that page, chances are quite a few people will click off and come to see what SMARTR Barbados is all about. Some of you that have retail stores or salons or what have you may have a mailing list, and you send out an email to your clients on an ongoing basis, once a week, twice a month, whatever it is. So you'll be able to leverage that list and share information and your affiliate link about SMARTR Barbados, and that can again result in passive revenue coming in for your existing business via your new online business. So just as we did for the personal subscriptions, we will do for the membership, the business subscriptions as well, and we will upgrade you accordingly. If you buy a micro, we will upgrade you to small. If you buy small, we will upgrade you to medium, because we want to reward you for taking the time to come out and spend some time with us this evening. So whether you are a personal member or a business member, you have access to the affiliate program. And those of you, it's not mandatory, by the way, if you are a business, you don't have to get involved in this aspect. But we highly recommend it, because why leave money on the table? So this is where, we would then, once you have your subscription, we would then point you in the right direction here to sign up and activate your digital marketing affiliate office, which has all of the technology tools that you will ever need to properly promote SMARTR Barbados to your existing contacts and networks to earn affiliate income. You'll be able to monitor your performance, how many people have come to SMARTR Barbados because of your referral, and they come into our system as leads, how many of them converted into paying clients of SMARTR Barbados, and what is the amount of commission that is due to you as a result of those conversions. All of that is tracked in that system, and all the information you would need is in that separate platform. But you're probably wondering, okay, so what exactly will we be promoting? Well, here are the services which, as an affiliate, you will be promoting to the Barbados public and to small, micro, small, and medium businesses in Barbados. So you'll be promoting personal membership subscriptions to the community, business membership subscriptions, public digital event hosting service. And what that means is that anybody out there who has a business and a following or whatever, whether you're a gym perhaps, and you want to have an online event, an exercise-a-thon or whatever you want to call it, they can come to us the same way that they would go to Lloyd Erskine Standiford Center in the past. They can come to us and say, hey, you know what, we want to use your event venue and your technology to host an online event for the public. And they would pay us a fee. We would allow them to have a 3-hour event within the platform, and anyone who is registered as a member of this community will be able to attend that event at no charge, thereby exposing that business that is running the event to a new audience and providing more interesting events for the members who are already members of the community. So that is something you can promote to any type of entity or business or association that would normally have physical events in a hall somewhere. They can now bring their events online and have an audience to share them with. But you also have the opportunity for private digital event hosting as well. So if someone says, hey, you know what, we want to do an event, but we don't want it to be open to the general public, we want to have a paid event, and only only people who purchase tickets can attend, well, then we can set that up as well. And we will give them essentially a duplicate of this platform that we have here, which will have its own private social lounge, its own private exhibitor booths, areas, and so on, and event sessions and what have you. And they can completely monetize that for a 2-day event, selling sponsorships and booths and what have you. So that is something that would be of interest to many organizations in Barbados, I would imagine. But the bottom line here is that you're able to be the one who tells an organization or business about that opportunity and potentially have them say, yes, this is something that I would like to do. Let me purchase that package, and you get the commission. And if you're a gold member and you're selling that private event package at $2,500 US, well, that's 1,250 US worth of commission coming your way because of that. So I see, many of you going through the yellow pages and so on, looking for associations and sending them emails with your affiliate link, telling them about this new resource. You also have backstage sponsorship. That can be sold as well. So if you're having an event and someone wants to sponsor, like this session that we're having tonight, you could brand the backstage area where you see the speakers with a sponsor's logo or a couple of sponsors' logo as well, so that they get some mileage from that. And again, you would get your commission if you referred such sponsors to us. We also have sponsorship for the social lounge as well, which is where all the tables are. So you would have noticed, or you may not, but each of those tables can be branded with a company's logo, giving them visibility and exposure. So for example, Chefette and Burger King and all of those people could potentially want to have their logo on one of those tables or 2 or 3 of those tables in the social lounge, so that when people are congregating there, they look at that Chefette logo and they say, oh, yeah, you know what, I'm a little hungry, so let me pop onto my phone and place an order for delivery from Chefette or whatever. So that's another opportunity that would be relatively popular with local businesses. And this is only the beginning of the packages that we will be offering. There are other things in the pipeline that you will be able to promote and market online to Barbadians, individuals and businesses. So I don't want to keep this too long, so we're going to call that an end there, and we're going to ask if there are any of you who want to raise your hand and ask a few questions. But after that, we will let you go over to the social lounge and to the exhibit booth area, where you will be able to speak directly with myself in the SMARTR Barbados booth if you didn't get your question answered here on this live session. So if there are any questions, okay, if you click on session, the session button on the top right, you should be able to ask a question. Okay, but it seems there are no questions at this point in time. All right, I'll just give it a couple more minutes. Perhaps people are just finding their feet around this software interface. And it took me a little while to kind of get my bearings as well. Any questions, Michael?
Yeah, I did have one. It's kind of a moot one. You had said that persons who had the lowest package would be upgraded to the medium package and the medium to the high. But what happens to those persons who might have purchased the high-end subscription?
Well, we are essentially saying that it does not make any sense if you're on this call to purchase the highest subscription, because you can get it at the same price as the middle subscription. So that is, we didn't say that directly, but that is what we're inferring. Do not purchase the highest package, because you can get that by simply purchasing the middle package within the next 24 hours.
I thought you might have had an option where the highest package would have been given at 50% or something.
Oh, no. Yeah, so we're just saying no need to purchase the highest package whatsoever. Yeah.
Okay.
At least if you're on this call and, you know, and you're able to make that commitment within 24 hours. But after that, then certainly, you know, you would then be back at the normal situation.
Okay.
Okay, still not seeing any raised hands, so I take it that, you know, we were fairly explicit here. What I will do is to just give you a little bit of a tour of the platform itself. So I'm going to...
Sorry, Robin.
Yes, go ahead.
Before you did the tour, I also, again, in the interest of time, had not mentioned it, but if anyone had any questions about setting up a company, I actually do incorporations as well. So if you have a question on setting up a company, or how do you structure it to benefit from this business, that can be answered as well. So we encourage you, if you have any questions, don't be hesitant or shy about asking them.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Absolutely. Okay, so I'm still sharing my screen, so if I go over here to the lounge, I am not allowed to do that. Okay, well, you'll have to take the tour on your own. They're not allowing me, the system is not allowing me to do that. This is a new system we have implemented. So I guess there are a few things that I still don't have down pat. But you can use the navigation menu over here on the left to move across to the social lounge and sit at a chair and, you know, have chats with whoever else is at the table and so on. Or you can come down here to the arena and go into, you know, one or more booths and speak to, you know, any person who happens to be there. We didn't place a big emphasis on the booths at this point in time for this first session. But I do believe, let me see if she's here. People. Monique Medford, where are you? Okay. Okay, I'm not seeing her in the list either, but at least you'll be able to go over there and see what the booths are like. Click around inside of the booths and see what is possible. If you go into the booth called Providence Farms, you will see two links at the top. And one of them will say digital store. If you click on that, you will actually see what kind of digital store you are able to get set up through SMARTR Barbados. That only has a few products on it for example purposes. But as I said, you can have up to 500 different products on this platform, you know, if we set up a store for you. And that would be tied to our SMARTR Barbados domain. So your business name .smartrbarbados.com is the domain your store would be set up on. That is because we need to be able to plug in our merchant account into that store on the same domain. One of the other things that we will likely do in the future is, you know, subject to approval of the particular product or service, we will also be able to extend the affiliate program to include products and services being sold by our business members, so that you could potentially earn referral commissions when you direct traffic to one of our business members' e-commerce sites that we set up for them here on this platform as well. So you have to start somewhere. So this is where we're starting with this, for the Barbadian community. And then we'll be introducing various other things as we go forward. But that is essentially the presentation for this evening. I see no specific questions. Perhaps people want to ask one-on-one privately. So you can find me in the SMARTR Barbados digital booth in the arena section. Just click on the left over here in the next 5 minutes. Okay, so thank you very much for attending this this session. And this is something we're looking to do on a weekly basis. So we will notify you accordingly if you want to come back and get additional information in a week's time, and perhaps invite a friend to come along as well to hear the information as well. So thank you all. It's a pleasure having you. This is Robin Bell signing out. Thank you.
Hi, Robin. Robin, I think there are two questions that were raised in it.
Really? Okay, let me take a direct message. I'm not seeing any new questions in the chat. I see people confirming that they can hear and so on. Oh, one question. For those who are interested in the affiliate program who may not have a bank account, is it possible to work with credit unions as far as the wire transfer is concerned? Michael, you have any thoughts on that? I'm not sure what the wire transfer scenario is for a credit union.
Again, I'm not sure if the credit unions do provide that facility. But what Robin is suggesting is that through the site, the merchant account would be provided for you, and a local solution can be provided concerning that. Right now, the banking section in Barbados is going through some changes. As you know, with the tariffs, that is being discontinued, and you see greater stress now being put on the use of the credit cards. As you know, First Caribbean International, they have issued a international Visa debit, replacing your local debit card. And a lot of these facilities, the credit banks, the credit unions used to piggy bank through. So we have to wait and see when all is settled what the credit unions would be able to do. So to directly answer your question, we're not sure, but we would look at that and get back to you on that. But in the event that you can't, we'd find a solution to work.
Yeah. You mentioned e-commerce there, Michael, and what you said is true there, but this particular question is focused on commissions due to an individual. So let's say he referred someone to the site and they made a purchase, and he's owed $100 in commission. I guess in principle, it's still a question of us having to transfer the $100 to him in Barbados. But we can look at things like potentially Payoneer as an option, payoneer.com. But we will work through those little anomalies for anyone who doesn't have a bank account or who is unable to set up a bank account for whatever reason. But we can always get back to you on that. So it doesn't rule you out as being an affiliate. We just need to create a unique system to accommodate persons like yourself. So thanks for that question, Sherry-Ann Critchlow. Yeah. Okay. So I think that's the only question we've had there in the chat.
There was just one other question where someone was asking if for the details to be provided for the presenters.
I mean, contact information and so on?
Well, the question was posed by Tamika, it looks like.
Where are you seeing that, Michael? Can you read it for me, please?
It says, could contact details be provided for the presenters if possible?
Oh, sure. What I'll do after the event, I will send out an email with those contact details so you can, reach us by email. And if necessary, as I said, we can schedule a one-on-one inside of either the social lounge or the exhibit arena section of this platform. You're able to log into this platform at any time that you want, day or night, now that you're registered. So this is not going to shut down for you simply because this session ends this evening. Okay, so you can reach out to us by email once I send that email out, and then you can get in touch and we can go from there. That was the last one, Michael?
The last one that I saw.
Yeah. You saw that under question and answers, because that's where I'm looking, and I only saw one there.
No, I saw it in the regular chat.
Oh, the public chat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't looking in the public. I was looking at the Q&A section there. All right. Well, thanks again, everyone, for attending. Hope to see you again next week when we reconvene for the second session. Do have a good evening and stay safe out there and follow the protocols. Thank you again. Bye for now.